Hey, I'm Jan.
And I'm Debbie.
And we're here to Did You Know?
Yes, so we're going to give you some information that we didn't know. Well, some of it we did, but we wonder, did you know?
Did you know that Orange Blossom was the first country club? And the first bigger course, the 18-hole course.
Yep, first championship course. And, whoops, my finger's in there. Did you also know that this is one of the few pools that has a hot tub?
It's a waterfall.
And a waterfall. Yeah, it's the only one with a waterfall.
Yeah.
And then, whereas here and Glenview, I think, are the only two hot tubs in the villages. And someday we may have a guest on our show to talk about her history here. She's been here for a long time, but we were talking to her this morning, and this was where they had one hot tub here, and there was one on Webbway. Do you know where Webbway is?
I do not know where Webbway is.
She said they used to be open all night, didn't matter, no hours, back in the good old days. So anyway, but this is in the historic section on the north side of 441. So this is the original side. You would find the hot tub right behind that waterfall. So here we are today at the Paradise Dog Park. And it is one of 8 dog parks in the villages. And here they have a spot for your large dogs and for your small dogs, so the dogs don't mix.
Or one eat another.
Yes, they stay somewhat safe. And it is a way to allow your dog to be off leash here in the villages. Otherwise, your dog is required to be on a leash. So, but it's a way to get them to run, give them a little exercise.
And to play with others.
Yes. And a lot of the humans socialize here as well. So, great place to come. There's 8 parks throughout the villages, and the only walking path that we've seen that you're not permitted to have dogs on is out at Meona. The new walking path they put up, no dogs are allowed to be out there. So, did you know that many neighborhoods and areas in the villages have a gate system? Those gates go up and down over 98 million times a year, and over 1,600 times a year, the posts get knocked off of their base. If you're found to have done that and there is damage, they can assess a $250 penalty. There are cameras right by those gate shacks, so they are recording plates as you come and go. Did you know?
Hey, did you know that this was where the first, not square, but entertainment area was in the villages?
Yes, it's right. To give you some perspective, there's the Mexican restaurant. That's 441 in the back. And you can see across. And then there's the tire store there. We'll take some other pictures so you get an idea of where we are. But this was called the Entertainment Center. And so my family member that I've referred to, she said that they used to call it the Blue Tent. We're going to go to the Blue Tent because that's what they had, was a blue tent here. And they did have live entertainment, but I think she said, and I could be wrong, but I think she said it was not every night like the squares have it. I think she said she remembered it being on Mondays and Thursdays. So that was interesting that people could come dance.
And when did they tear this down? Was that like right before COVID or during COVID?
She said, there were
all the buildings that were here. There was a crematory and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know when that all got torn down. So.
We'll look it up.
But yeah, but this used to be the entertainment center, and she said outside the back of the Blue Tent, which was where you could go party, there was a liquor store or whatever, and so you could go and purchase your beer in there. And she said it was a really good time, that they always had fun here, and it was nostalgic. So,
and probably everybody knew everybody then.
Yes, and one of the things we were talking about too was everybody used to be home before dark because of the golf carts not having lights.
Right.
No headlights, no driving after dark. That wouldn't be very smart.
Or in the morning when it was dark.
True. So anyway, did you know that there was a square-ish before Spanish Springs? Really wasn't a square. Entertainment center. But here we are. So now we are at the La Hacienda Rec Center. And did you know there is something called the Senior Games? The Senior Games here in the Villages, and they're actually around the nation, but the ones here in the Villages are running mid-April usually. It's about the 15th through the 23rd. This is where you can either get your application or you can pick up your packet after you've registered. And if you've never played in the Senior Games, you have to basically be 50 and up, and you can do all sorts of sports. Have you done any of them yet?
No.
I played tennis in it one year, and then if you win here in the Villages, then you move on to state, and if you win at state, which we did, you can represent the state of Florida or wherever at the national games. A lot of people think it's a great experience that you can do.
They take home a lot of medals here.
Yes.
The Villages, they do.
Yeah. You do, I mean, there's everything, running, archery, bowling, like
Track and field and anything that,
you name it, whatever
bicycling.
sport.
Yep. And also, they have running of the squares, the 3 squares every year, a 5K, and this is also where you pick up your package because it's at Sumter. There's one at
Brownwood
here
and
one at Brownwood.
Yep.
That's Spanish. Yep. And this is where you pick up those packets when you sign up for the 5K.
And this is actually just right outside of Spanish Springs Square. If you don't know where La Hacienda is, actually a lot of people have probably seen the back of it, not maybe the front of it.
Yeah.
Because from the square you can see the back of the, well, I think was it ever a hotel?
No.
It always looked like a hotel.
It does
to
look
me,
like
so.
a hotel, but no.
But anyway, so, but we're down here, and so Senior Games is a big deal here. Lots of registrants. So anyway, if you're 50 and up and you like your sports, you should join in one year. All right, now we're at Sumter Landing. We are at the entertainment area.
And there is entertainment and music every night at every square from 5 to 9.
Every day of the year.
Unless
Yes.
it's really cold or there's been a storm and it's pouring down rain, then they'll cancel it.
Yeah, and if it's been lightning, a lot of times they'll shut it down in the summer just until it's kind of like the golf courses here don't do it, but the golf courses in Illinois do it where they shut you down for a little bit, wait for a certain amount of time for the storms to pass, and then they'll go back out there and everything.
Resume.
Yeah. And so the bands usually play for about 45 minutes, then they take a 15-minute break every hour. So you'll find that. Leo and I time that perfectly every time we come.
So do we.
It's break time. So there's also drink shacks. There's usually 2, sometimes 3 on each of the squares. Those, I think, open an hour early, don't they? I think they're open 4 to 9.
Yeah, they open early, and I think Brownwood is open all day.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah, or not, early, because I've gotten a Bloody Mary there before.
So that's, so anyway, you can check out the drink shacks on the square. You're not supposed to bring your own alcohol here, so you are supposed to purchase from them. And then there's, of course, millions of shops, not millions, literally millions of shops and restaurants. I never exaggerate. Anyway, so those are around, and usually the shops close about 9 o'clock, and then some of the bars and restaurants, though, are open later. So anyway, usually about 9 o'clock, there's a big exodus from all the squares.
Yes, I think Sunday nights they close early.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah, that's the only night. Otherwise, they're open while the music's going.
But now you know how much music and entertainment there is in the Villages.
Hey, we're at Sumter Landing right now. We're no fishing allowed.
And if you would like to fish out there, there is actually charters available that they run. There are charters available that they run, and those run $250 per person. It's catch and release, so you don't get to keep anything you find. But if you are interested in fishing out on Lake Sumter Landing, you can call the Laurel Manor Rec Center at 352-751-7110. And you do have to make reservations. You can't just show up. And
they're usually on a Saturday or a Friday when the excursions happen.
Okay. And then there is a tour boat that you can also go out on here in the village.
Oh no, thanks.
you.
We're videoing. Thank you though.
Thank you. There's also a charter boat you can take out for tours, basically. And you just did that with your kids, right?
Yes, we just did that the other day. It was pretty fun. They make up a lot of stuff, and then they give you some facts and make up some things that are pretty funny. And it was a 20-minute, 20 people can go, and $2 a piece. It was fun.
It's a fun thing to do with the kids, right?
Yes, the kids loved it.
And that you can just walk up and do. You don't need to make reservations for that at all.
Right. It leaves, like I said, every 20 minutes they open at 1, and then you get your tickets, and you can, if you miss the 1 o'clock, then you can do the 2 o'clock and get a ticket for that. But they don't give tickets out ahead of time because they say people would get tickets reserved and then not show up.
Get distracted
Yeah,
by all the other fun.
Yeah.
So, did you know you can't fish in here unless you're on the charter? We have gorgeous sunsets here in the villages, and some of the best places to see the sunset are off of the back of Glenview Golf Course and their patio, Kane Garden and their back patio, and then along the Morse Bridge, there's a little area that they have that you can pull off and park your golf cart, have some wine, and watch the sunset. It's just beautiful. So, did you know there is a small cemetery in the villages, and the homes and everything are built around it?
Mm-hmm. And it runs along
Stillwater Trail, yeah.
and it's right across from number 6 Green. It's elevated, and you wouldn't know it was there unless somebody told you.
Yeah, that's up. You can see it from the golf course, Caroline, which is out of Mallory, and that's where you can see it. So anyway, apparently legend has it that this was here, obviously, and they were not permitted to remove people, which I totally
agree
with. Once I rest, I want to be
don't be moving me everywhere.
No, that's rude. So anyway, we'll respect them and give them their privacy, but there is a small cemetery here in the middle of the villages. Did you know?
I didn't. Did you know there's a house that's been relocated in the villages? It's called the Brinson Perry Home, built in 1887.
And it's right here on the corner of Buena Vista and Bonita. And a lot of times, I don't even know if people notice that it's here.
I've noticed it every time because I thought it was like, whose house is that?
I want to live there.
Yeah, it has a front porch.
Yeah, it is really cute. So they have it fenced off, as you can see, so I don't think you're supposed to go up there and crawl through it. But just kind of an interesting thing, it says it was bought by the villages in 2002 and moved here in 2004, and then they did do a bunch of upgrades to it.
Yeah, just lately they did some painting and rotted wood and some other things. But yeah, it's really cute, and it does surprise you. You're driving around the circle here, and you're like, oh, there's a house right there.
So, did you know? And we also found another dog park right nearby. It's called the Brinson Perry Dog Park. It looks really tiny, but it's also shaded and kind of secluded and
nobody
small.
knows it's there, so it's your park.
Yes, private park.
Oh, we let the cat or dog out of the bag.
We let the dog out of the bag. Did you know that there are 10 clay courts in the villages? This is up at Lopez. There are 4 courts up here, and then there are 6 courts at Glenview. If you decide you want to play the clay, you do have to pay for these courts. The hard courts in the villages are all free, but you do have to pay for the clay, and you would call the Glenview Tennis Center to set up a court time and reserve that. You can also take lessons and clinics through the Pro Shop. And finally, did you know that there is actually a bridge that connects two parts of the villages and goes over the turnpike? That's how large it has gotten down here. So if you've enjoyed this video, we really appreciate you watching. Please consider liking and subscribing to our videos. Have a great day.